Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Dugout Football channel. Welcome to episode 3 of A Chat With. And today's guest is, well, let's just say he is my right-hand man of the Sam Radio Football Show. And to come on and talk things all Leeds United, I have Mr. Karl Levy. How are you doing, Karl?
Yeah, good. Thank you very much. Even though we're not on our radio today and for the next 2-3 weeks, but yeah, it feels different that we're doing this in the afternoon at 3 o'clock when we're usually supposed to be on. But no, I am busy doing other things. I've got to catch up with work to make sure everything's going fine. I've got 2 hours left, so I've taken my lunch break now anyway, which is probably a good timing for that. So yeah.
Well, I do. I really appreciate it, and I appreciate you taking your time out to do this with me. So, just first question, I've obviously asked my 2 last guests this. How are your thoughts going into this season?
I think we're going in quite confidently. Actually, I think we know Bielsa's contract is not confirmed, but I'm not worried about it too much. This always happens. So even though if he's working at the club, yes, his contract is still being negotiated. I think we do it so uniquely difficult close when if you're like Messi, a free agent, you're not at the club. So technically, but Bielsa is still part of the club. It's just his contract is taking a little bit long. It always taking final details, but I don't think there's going to be no issues with it. And I think having the players back, it's been good seeing them training. They look a lot more happier. I feel like we have been confident going into forward this season as well with the play, especially what we're doing at the transfer market, what we've been doing. So, no, I think there's been confidence all over the place, and we are going for it again, second season in a row.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, you finished 9th last season, which was like, let's be honest, it was a very, very good season for you guys. You were unbeaten against the top 6 at Elland Road. That is very, very impressive as well. So. Yeah, look, I think it's fantastic to have Leeds United back in the Premier League. I will say that. I will say that now. So let's talk about obviously the ins and outs of Leeds United, and your ins. Well, was a familiar face, Jack Harrison. You've managed to get him on a permanent deal. How are you feeling about that one?
Very happy. I think the last 3 years he has proven that he can play in English football, despite he was away for quite a bit. I think his last loan club was against Middlesbrough. That didn't work out, and then when we got him, he was so good, but he just had issues with the finishing touches, and then getting for 2 more seasons as well during the last season as well. It's been tremendous, and making over 125 appearances as well. That's really, really good for someone like him to be on loan for the last 3 years. And to get him on the permanent deal, which was the right thing. The deal was there for quite a while, those last 2 years. I think we've total including his loan fees, I think it's come up to 22 million, even though we spent 11 million pounds getting him permanently. But 22 million pounds during the last 3 years, I think is a really good bargain actually to him succeed how he's been doing at the club. And I think he's going to be close getting to the England squad now. This post Euros to go on this year, I think he will be one of the few players that we will be considered in the England squad coming over the next World Cup qualifiers during the rest of the year, to quite honestly, yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's a cracking signing. Obviously, first game of the last season, he gave Trent Alexander-Arnold a bit of a runaround. So I think it's a fantastic signing. And yeah, for 11 million, that looks like it's going to rise up to about 22 million. I think that's a very, very good price as well. And the other end is a player which I actually thought Liverpool would have signed probably ages ago. Would have been Junior Firpo. How are you feeling about that one? I think that came out of absolutely nowhere, to be honest with you.
It came out of nowhere, but this was what we kind of needed for the left back. We needed that left back position. I think Firpo was linked with AC Milan and some other clubs, but Victor Ora, third player to my director of football, went to travel to Barcelona, talk with the player and his agent. He speaks good English as well too, which is when I heard his interview. He watched Leeds during last year's season. He loved how Bielsa played. He learning with the murder ball, but he's now just doing his training first. But that's how Bielsa works, and I think he will be the first choice in that selection in that first game against Manchester United for people. And I think for £30 million rise to 50 million, it's a good transfer business. And I think Barcelona, I don't know why Barcelona, had him on the books when he bought for Real Betis a couple of years ago, but this was a huge opportunity, and he's still in his 20s. he's got a lot of talent he can prove, and I think he will be a really good player for left back for Leeds this season. It's what we needed, for the last 3 years, to be quite honest with you. And I think having him, with him having Spanish international experience, I think it'll help him get back in the Spanish squad as well too.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, you're absolutely right, because there's no way you're getting ahead of a Jordi Alba in that Barcelona side. I thought it was a very, very weird signing for Barcelona when they made it, but it makes sense at the time. But obviously, we all know about the financial trouble that Barcelona are in, and they're wanting to get players off the wage bill. And I think Junior Firpo was a very, very good signing for Leeds United, because we will come on to the outs. We will come on to the outs now. One of them is Alioski. You must be a bit gutted to see him go.
Gutted and angry, to be quite honest with you. I think with him going to Galatasaray, and I don't know if he understands the history he has. Those Galatasaray fans still always think, to this day, they still think, they can be laughing about what happened with the two fans got killed, back in 1999, 2000, around that time. And I don't think he knows the history of that. The clubs that don't know. The last person to did that was Harry Kewell. He went to Galatasaray after he left Liverpool. And we call him Judas. And I think that's going to be the same way. I think he's lost a lot of respect from us now, because we did not want this to happen. And I think there's people on Twitter talking about this, saying, if you don't support with the fans what they want to go through, then Leeds fan. That may be true in some ways, because but Alioski must say, well, it's my job as a footballer, so I have to find a new club. But going to Galatasaray was the last thing on our minds, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah, I was shocked. When I heard about that. There was talk that they were going to get Patrick Van Aanholt, and they couldn't agree personal terms. And then Alioski was available, and they've managed to get him. Yeah, look, he had a very good Euros. There's no denying that. I just have a feeling that he may have got that move because of his performances based on the Euros.
But the thing is, I think he was always been first choice to Curtis. He was always first choice for Galatasaray. This was happening before the end of the season. He was always got on Galatasaray's radar for quite a while. And then somehow, I think they backed off a little bit because we try to extend his contract. That got rejected. So I think Galatasaray all came back after realising, let's see how we'll go with Van Aanholt, and that deal scuppered, and they went back to their first option. I think Van Aanholt was their second option if they couldn't get Alioski. To be quite honest with you, I'm no disrespect. He's dead to me now, because I feel like he should have not even made this move. He could have gone somewhere else, anywhere else, not anywhere else. But to Galatasaray, it's disappointing.
Yeah, especially exactly with what happened. Also, Barry Douglas, he is away as well. There's Matthias Boyuge, I think that's how you pronounce it. Pablo Hernandez, I think you'll be gutted to see him go. But I tell you, someone you won't be gutted to see go is Kiko Casilla, but he is only on loan, which does surprise me a little bit. Of those ones that are out, which ones are you gutted to see go?
Two players, Barry Douglas and Pablo Hernandez. Let's start with Barry Douglas. I think he was a good servant that we needed at left back for 2 years with his Chelsea experience, and I think he was never going to get back into that squad in the Prem when we got promoted last year. And I feel like him going back to Lech Poznan, I think it's probably the right move for him, because he has played for them before a couple of years ago. I think he played under that squad under Robert Lewandowski as well, I think as well. So he knows the Polish league. I think it was right for him to move back, because the fans love him there. And I think with Pablo Hernandez, what a player he has been, the servant to our club as well, and for what he's done. And we knew the way during the season before in the Championship, that goal against Swansea was so important to his career and to us as well, to get us promoted. That was a goal that showed us we will be back in the Premier League after 16 years away. So those are the two players I'm going to be good to most. I think Matheus Borges, he's going to be on loan. I think he's going to be another rising star. Be back in that Leeds squad next year. I think he will rise completely. I think he did well. He did well on loan for what people told me, and I'd say he's not surprised. He's got talent. So if you give him another season more, I think he'll be ready for the Premier League the season after. The one thing I'm not going to go was Casilla. I think Casilla knew his time was up. I think on loan, because we're still paying his wages at the moment, so it'd be hard to get him off the budget. But don't be surprised if Elche do come and actually say, do you want him to take you off permanently off your wage? Well, don't be surprised. There will be some negotiations at some point this season or after the end of the next season as well. So for that one, with it, we'll be looking at goalkeeper, which we'll talk about in a bit because I know there'll be some questions. I'll tell you where we do need to improve. But I think Casilla was always going to go from last season. I think no one don't trust him at the club. What happened with the racial abuse with Jonathan Lecco 2 years ago when he was So to quite honestly, the club had to do something. I know when we did our live watch along and we said you should get a back, you should get someone. You don't think that Meslier is good. Meslier is really good. He is talented. I think if you why do you think Bielsa stuck with him so much? Because he could trust that Meslier, for £5 million on loan, Casilla, he knew Casilla's erratic was just not going to help us get promoted. So what he did do, got Meslier on loan for quite a bit, see how it goes with Casilla during that season we got promoted. That game in the FA Cup against Arsenal, he proved that he can play against Premier League teams. And we saw it happen. I think he was the youngest player to get over 11 clean sheets before his 21st birthday. So to quite honest with you, I'm not too worried about Casilla going because I think that was always going to happen at some point. But we found the right club for him anyway.
I think he's been living off the fact that he was on the Real Madrid bench to Iker Casillas, and I think the only reason he was on that bench was because of Casillas playing well. And I think people have said, "Oh, he's a good keeper," but Casilla, not Casillas. It's not actually Casillas. So, yeah, I can understand that. As far as other outs are concerned, do you expect anyone to be leaving before the window shuts?
I feel like there will be one more player, and don't be surprised. I think Helder Costa is going to be one of those players who are likely to leave. There's been talks that there's been one or two clubs in Spain have been interested in him, but no bids has happened at the moment. So we'll wait to see with that one. But I think that's pretty much it. I don't think there'll be any more outgoings. I think one or two players will go on loan. I think there will be someone like in the under-23s. I think Joel Gerhardt will be part of that Leeds squad this season. But I don't see it. I think that's the only major player that will go. Probably will be Helder Costa because during the in and out, he's been in and out of the squad, and he's not proven dividends. He's worth £70 million. If we can get a third of that back, I'll be happy with that one. If we do sell him on this summer.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's go on to your first six, because I have to say your first game is already striking me as wow. Manchester United away, Everton at home, Burnley away, Liverpool at home, Newcastle away, and West Ham at home. How many points do you expect Leeds to take out of those six?
I think if we get at least I'm going to say at least 9.9 to 9, at least 9-10 points at least. I know with Manchester United, they look like they're going to sign Rafael Varane because they're doing some leaked it out by accident. So it looks like that deal's done. And I think with Sancho playing, he's going to be joining the club in the next 2 days, so hopefully next week. But I think that we are confident we can get some good, decent results. I think West Ham, they'll be interested because how do they cope with they playing Thursday nights as well as Sunday nights. So it'll be interesting to see about that. Everton under Rafa Benitez, that's going to be a really, really good game because I think Rafa's never played against a Leeds United side as much, except for when he was in the Championship. That's pretty much it. Mm-hmm. He's not played a Leeds United when in the Premier League ever. So it's going to be very interesting of what happens with that one. I feel like we can actually get good, decent results, especially with Liverpool as well, because how we get the points at home. We don't want to go on that first game of the last season as well was tremendous. Don't expect there will be some goals. I think Leeds will continue the old ways, but I think it'll be a little bit more better. I think there'll be a little more tweaks now in that tactics now. Hopefully, we can get some good, decent results in the first 6 games.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think if you can get points that like Burnley away last season was a very good result. You won 4-0 there. Newcastle, you beat them, I think 2-1, St James's Park. 2-1, yeah. And then I think you beat West Ham 3-0 as well. So you've got a really, really good first 6 there. Obviously, Liverpool and Manchester United are probably the toughest 2 out of those 6. But yeah, I would expect you I'd expect you to get some points as well. And
Well,
then your final.
well, the thing is, we didn't beat West Ham. We lost both games West Ham last season, so we lost the 2-0 and then won 2-1 at Elland Road.
Yeah. That's right.
So it's going to be quite tough with that one, yeah.
And then your final 6, and you'll be hoping to be going for Europe, and obviously not surviving relegation, etc. Which I don't think it's going to happen anyway. But it's Chelsea at home, Crystal Palace away, Manchester City at home, Arsenal away, Brighton at home, and Brentford away. That's quite a tough run, and you've got games against Chelsea, Man City, and Arsenal. And then obviously you've got the new boys Brentford away on the final day. So how are you feeling about those final 6? You'll be hoping that you'll be at least challenging for Europe at least.
Yeah, I think round there we'll hopefully at least challenge for you. I think if we get those results against Chelsea, Man City, a good decent results, either a draw, I'll be happy with that one. I think we could have beat Chelsea at home, towards the end of the last season actually, because Chelsea were struggling. We surprised we didn't take the 3 points. But the interesting last game will be Brentford because, like I said, I have no problems with Brentford. I think how they felt. Pontus Janssen. I think I probably will be going last game. I probably might be going down to London for that last game of the season now because I have now got my Leeds United membership now, which means I'll get first priority home games as well as away games as well too. So I will probably go to a few games during this course of the new season comes anyway. So, but I think if we can get some good, decent parts of that towards the last 6 games, I think we're in a shot for a European spot. Not Champions League, of course, though. I think Europa League or the Europa Conference League.
Yeah, you were very, very close. I mean, I don't think anyone expected how well a season like Leeds had, and I don't think they expected to be challenging for Europe. But 9th place was a very, very good finish, and I hope that you'll be hoping that it goes on to next season. But how excited are you to be going to Leeds United games? I bet you've missed it.
I've missed it. The last time I beat the Leeds United home game, it was about 2015 when we lost 3-2 to Watford. That was my last home game actually, and I was willing to go when I did pass my driving test last year. So I was willing to go before everything happened with this lot that was pandemic. But I'm hopeful now because I have the weekends off. Even though some point for next month I am going to be working only once every 3 weeks, so which means I have 2 weekends. So which I will probably try to go home a few games or so. But like I said, it's not bad. I'm glad that I'm going to get to go to some home games when I can, and 1 or 2 away games down to Newcastle, and then probably down northwest to Manchester or Liverpool, and then probably down to London or trip down to London as well too. I don't think I'll go further down in London after that because I don't think the travel is going to be too much for me. So I'll probably get the train down to London and drive to Newcastle and back. I'm happy to do that because, as I said, I got the time and my rota will fit into everyone what we do. But I'm going to be happy that I'll be back down in the Leeds United at Elland Road for the first time for a longer time, and now going to the first game as a Premier League club because I've never been to a Premier League club when Leeds was there. So it's going to be very interesting.
I'm pretty sure you will enjoy it. So my next question for you: what would be a successful season for Leeds United?
I think if we become one of the best, the meanest defences of not conceding a lot more goals that we did last season, I think if Barford could get at least 10 goals again, yes, he was nearly close to winning the Golden Boot, but if he can get at least 10 goals, I'll be happy with that. Rodrigo being the next Pablo Fernandez, that good replacement, and is what we needed. And seeing Rafinha continue what he's doing, I hope he could be in shout for either one of the Player of the Year, Young Player of the Year, because I don't know why he was never picked. And I think Meslier will continue his development, and I think he will always be number one. I think for us, if we could get into that top 10 again and probably top 8, that would be huge for Leeds. That would be a very, very successful season for Leeds United.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the way that you played last season, and as you said, yes, you do need to defend better. There were a lot of games last season where you were, I think you lost 4-3 to us, and then you won 4-3 against Fulham. It was, we attack, you attack. So yeah, you'll definitely try and get more clean sheets. But what you can say is that there were some very, very notable results. Obviously, 4-0 away at Burnley was very, very good. But obviously Manchester United 6-2. You'll obviously be wanting to try and get a better result as well. But yeah, I just think the way that Leeds have been playing, you don't get hammered very, very much. It's very, 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 very rarely you get hammered.
It's very rare, and that's what a lot of people were surprised about. They will always say, "Oh, Leeds will get hammered at these games," but it's been very, very rare, and that's probably the good thing. I think now with Bielsa being in his first season here in the Premier League, and he's how he's looked at it, I think okay, I know what to do. I know what to put. I think it's an evolution, not a revolution for us this season. It's an evolution. What we need to do this season.
Yeah, absolutely. So I have got a couple of questions for you. Are you worried about second season syndrome? Because the reason I asked that, Sheffield United finished 9th in their first return to the Premier League, and then they were relegated. Do you have any qualms about second season syndrome?
No, not with Bielsa and how the club runs. There's no issues like that. There's no quarrel, and there's no egos in this squad or at the club, which is the best thing about it compared to what Sheffield United had last season with the owner with the transfer deals with Chris Wilder. That upset the club, and I think they bought the wrong signings. That's why Leeds did not go far down that route. And like I said, when you have Andrea versus Ali there, Angus Kinnear, Victor Ora, Prague Mrag from the 49ers is now on the board. Jed York, the owners of the 49ers, came to the last game against West Brom last season. There's so much culture that going at the club is going in the right way. And what Victor Ora does, and I think that he's just now getting that is run by former German international René Adler, who's done like an app called, it's like a Tinder for footballers. So it gets them with the transfer if they can fit, have their personality, if they fit into the style. So we have that app that helps us quite well, and especially with our club, how we've run it over the last 4 or 5 years, it is going places. So I don't worry about the second season because we always come with a plan in mind, unlike what Sheffield United and other previous clubs have struggled to do.
Yeah, I would absolutely agree, and I think I don't see you going the same way as them. Another question I've got for you: do you think Leeds can keep Rafinha and Calvin Phillips?
Yes, I think we will do. I think Rafinha, yes, because he's agent Deco, the great Deco that was at Barcelona. The way he said, he was surprised how Ren just wanted to try to make a profit after he was there for one season, and he joined us on the last day. I think Rafinha is going to be staying at the club. It looks like he's going to be the number 10, the new number 10. I think that's what his shirt's going to be. His shirt number is going to be because we saw pictures him wearing it in training. I would not worry about Rafinha leaving because I think him and Elland have been a very good partnership on that right hand side as well. I just can't see. I think Leeds would not sell club. I think we don't even need the money to sell the players like we used to do. And for Calvin Phillips, that's what I think. It's been on my mind. But you know what? I think Calvin Phillips knows because I think if he thinks about his granny Val, how much she played a part before she passed away from coronavirus, she probably said, "Do not go to a club." Like she even persuaded him not to go to Aston Villa 2 years ago, and that worked. And she will probably tell him in his mind, said, "Do not go to Manchester United. Don't go to our rivals. You're happy here. You're going to be a club legend." I don't see Leeds are going to be selling that huge player because he's part of that team. He's part of that mold that we play. The build we built around him. So I don't see something like that happen. I think Leeds will be crazy to sell these two players, and they don't even need the money.
No. I think you're in a position where you don't really need to sell Rafinha, and I think you're in a position where you'd be like, Calvin Phillips, what would be about 50, 60 million, something like that. So yeah, I think you'll definitely keep Phillips and Rafinha there.
And we will do. And I think at some point this season, I think he will probably sign a new contract with Calvin Phillips because if he wants to confirm his longer stay there, I think he will sign a contract this coming season. So I would watch this space when I believe it will be true.
And the final question we have is from the lovely Helen Raybould, who is a long-term subscriber of mine and on Twitter. She's asked, what positions do Leeds United need to strengthen this season?
Okay, so there is 3 places we need to strengthen. Centre mid, because we did struggle without Karl Phillips when he was injured during last season, as we always talked about. Second, I think it's going to be goalkeeper. We do need a like goalkeeper like with Meslier, and I think we have been linked with a few players like Freddie Woodburn and one or two players from the Scandinavian league. So watch the space. I think we have been linked with Noah Lang as well from Club Brugge. So it's going to be interesting what we do with the business, what we do. So I think we need at least 3 more players, and then we'll all be happy with that. I don't think we need a huge rebuild. It's just an evolution. But I think a goalkeeper which is needed now. I don't know about defender. I think Llorente is happy there he's going to be there for another season, which is good. I think Pascal Strike came good towards the end of last season. He's come better and better. And, Koch can play that there as well. I think Cooper, shame for him. He didn't play a lot. He played quite good, decent games, but I think he's going to be probably 3rd, 4th choice now. But I think it's just a goalkeeper. I think left back, we're solid there. We got that issue sort of covered now. We got Harrison. We just need a centre mid that can play similar to Karl Phillips when he's not around. And also, probably, like I said, a centre forward. If No Lang does come and join as well, that's going to be really credible.
Yeah, I think that's something you definitely need is backup to Bamford, because I think without Bamford, I would worry with you in the striking role.
Yeah, absolutely. I look at Noel Lang's stats here, and I was looking at these today before we were being linked with him. And yeah, it's now open talks. It's been talking about for the last quite a while. So, and he's been decent for Club Brugge over the last season or 2, actually. So I would not be surprised if we do step up, because he's made an impression since he joined Ajax. I think he scored 17 goals last season and 11 assists in 37 games.
Very, very impressive. And obviously, we know that Watford have obviously signed Emmanuel Dennis from Club Brugge as well. So, Club Brugge are definitely getting, players who, have been playing in the Belgian league, and then they're coming over here now. So it's very, very good. And I think people need to give credit where it's due for the Belgian league. But I think we can safely say that I think I would definitely say backup for Bamford is a must. For sure. So if you get a Lang, then I think that'd be fantastic. Karl, it's been an absolute pleasure to speak to you about all things Leeds United. I just can't wait for the season to start. I bet you're the same as well. Where can we find you in the socials?
Well, you can find me at Karl Levy 92, which is right here as well. They can find us at the Sam Media Football Show on Facebook, on Twitter, and also on our YouTube channel as well too. So you can find us there, and we'll always try to bring out the best quality. Even though I was busy with work, I try to have time to tweet and all that stuff. But no, that's where you can find me, and you can find me at my personal profile, which is right here at Karl Levy 92.
Yeah, go and follow the Sam Media Football Show. We are kind of starting to grow a little bit. We definitely do need to get more subscribers on that channel. And also,
I think we got nearly 20 subscribers at the moment, so we are slowly getting there. So,
and also, obviously this video will go out on Saturday. But happy birthday when it comes for Sunday.
Yes, thank you very much. It's the last time I'll celebrate my 20s, and before I go to the 30s next year. So, yeah, I'm not looking forward to that. As well as your wedding, we got your birthday after the wedding, and then my birthday. Yeah, so to be honest with you, it's going to be interesting the next 12 months where we go from there. So yeah.
It's all downhill from here, is what I've been told. But no, I wouldn't take any notice of that. But yeah, guys, that is another fantastic episode of a chat with Done and Dusted. Obviously, this will be out on Saturday, and I'll be back with another episode very, very soon. But hit that subscribe button, smash the like if you have enjoyed this video as well, and go and follow Karl at his socials and Karl at the Sam Radio Football Show, and we will see you in the next one. Take care. Bye bye for now.